Hello there. It is time for another Let's Talk with Tabitha Love. I am Tabitha Love, and I'm here with one of my new friends, Miss Kiesha Cousar. Is I say it right?
Cousar or Cousar is fine.
I'm so excited. Let's Talk is a program where I'm sitting down and talking with one of my friends about everyday topics, things that people deal with all the time at any day part of their life, but with a biblical perspective because God impacts every part of our life. I don't know why people think or why the world tries to separate God out of every part of our life because God created all things. So to the thought or the mere audacity that we have to try to separate him from every facet of our life is crazy. And Let's Talk is just a time to sit back, kick back on everyday issues in life. So we just want to relax. We're going to sit here. We're going to be comfortable in front of the camera. Now, this is going to be aired on Praise to the Max Gospel Internet Radio. So thank you for the platform to being here. And then the information will go on to my YouTube channel. And you can access that by going to www.TabathaLove.HolidayGrief. So the information will be there. It'll show you how to connect to my YouTube channel. Now, that's a whole lot of stuff, right? So a whole lead into it with this pretty lady, my new friend, Miss Kiesha Cousar, or Cousar, as she says. I got it right.
Okay. It depends on where you are, actually. It could be Cousar if you're up north or Cousar.
Well, I'm from the western
part. Or pecan.
I am from the western part of North Carolina, honey. And I'm just country as country can be.
So it would be probably Kiesha Cousar.
Cousar, Cousar, Cousar. What? Oh, girl, we're country. Okay, we just country. Anyway, bottom line is we're here today. It's a topic we want to share. Can't waste any more time because this lady, when she gets going, it's good. And I don't want to hold back. But before I tell you the topic, I need her to introduce herself. Okay. So I wanted you to introduce yourself, but then I'll come back and then we'll talk about the topic. Okay.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Kiesha Cousar. I am a licensed clinical mental health counselor. I absolutely love what I do. So as I share with you a couple of my titles, then I'll tell you even more about how it connects. But as I said, I'm a licensed psychotherapist. I'm a certified life coach. I'm an author. I'm an emotional wellness strategist. I'm a minister. I am XYZ, all of the titles.
A mom,
a wife, all of the things. But most of all, I'm a lover of God and his people. And I love to connect. I love to be intentional, especially with women, girls, and families. And that's my area of expertise. And I absolutely love the fact that I'm here with my friend today to be able to share something that's near and dear to me, whether it's on either side, the growth side of what I do or on the healing side of what I do professionally. So I love the fact that God allowed me to have a career where I'm able to combine all of the things. And it's not a job, but it's actually my life's purpose. And that's what matters so much to me, is that it's able to permeate every area of my life, whether I'm driving up next to someone on a daily basis saying hi, and that hi turns into opportunity. Yeah, it works. So it doesn't turn off. This is who I am. It's a part of what I do, and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
Okay, so a lot of hidden behind the scene like things between the two of us because we often think that we can't talk about right now because we're running. We want to make sure we maximize our time. But the way God moves is just don't discount when God moves. Yes, this young lady pulled up in the parking lot beside me and dropped some God nuggets on me at 8:00 in the morning when I wasn't necessarily ready, but I was ready, but I wasn't ready. That's what some of those looks were like. Yeah, she did that, guys. But when you're led by the Lord, you're led by the Lord. And whether people receive, that's on them or not. And so in saying that, it's a good lead in because today, what I asked Miss Kiesha to come here for was for you and for me. It's November. Thanksgiving is around the way, and Christmas is around the way. And whether you are the person where you believe in Thanksgiving or Christmas or Jesus or not, it really doesn't fully matter. And I say that because holiday time is holiday time.
Yes, it is.
And so whether different cultures, they have different similar holidays during this time period. And even if on your job, you cannot celebrate anything. And the holiday season is still going to hit you because you're going to go to work probably somewhere. You're going to go shopping somewhere. And the songs, those same old traditional songs, the gatherings at the workplace, the potlucks, the secret whatevers, and the elves on the shelf, and all of these things that are attributed commercials on the TV, they can trigger certain things.
Yes.
And so I asked Miss Kiesha to come to talk to us about, drum roll, I gave her many topics. To be honest with you, I said, hey, can you talk to us? Really, the first one I asked her for was grief, because she's a grief counselor. And my dad passed in March of this year. My daddy, the one that I loved, the one that I thought was my superhero, the one that was just my daddy. I didn't have a stepdaddy. I wasn't raised by nobody. I had one daddy. And that was my daddy, and he gone. And I believe he's with the Lord, not here. And I believe he's out of pain and not here. I believe he's in a better place and not here. He passed away a few days before he turned 80 years old. He lived a long life. That's fine. It's a cycle of life. Mentally, I get that. But in my heart, sometimes I'm challenged with his passing. Now, some people might criticize me and they say, well, Tab, you never, because they might know the inside. I didn't always go home for the holidays. Sometimes I just wasn't physically able to go home. I was spending time with my husband and my children, and he was 4 hours away from me. And so he had different challenges. And then there was COVID, and I worked with children, and he had a different immune system. And it's like, hey, don't come up if you got germs, because you know what? I got COVID twice or whatever. So there were different things that happened that influenced me being able to be in his presence and to see him. But there was that phone where you could talk and you could call. And so there's just different things that you would go through. But when your loved one is gone, your loved one is gone. And there's so many things that people deal with in the holidays, just from the of holidays. And then when you add on grief, there's a young lady that I had lunch with today that came to our church. Her husband passed away. Her husband passed away around the holiday time. Her birthday is during the holiday time. And she has been dealing with that. It's not been 1 year. It's not been 2 years. It's probably been about 5 years that she has been dealing with the loss of her husband. And when I look on Facebook from time to time, I will see people that are missing their mom and they're missing their dad. And it's been years, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 plus years where they're missing their loved one. And it makes sense in the head, but our heart is still challenged.
That's right.
And so that's why I asked her to talk about holiday grief. And I said, if you don't want to talk about holiday grief, tell me how to get through the holidays emotionally sound, because we're doing all of these things and you're dealing with people who you love, but you may not like that much. And you're engaged with them, but you don't really want to be, but you would like to be, but it's just so complicated. That movie is complicated. And we only have, I've talked now, we only have like maybe 15 minutes. So that's why I was like, we're going to have to do a part 2, part 3, part 4. But I'm trying to set it up because I want you to understand what we're talking about. And so she's not going to be able, and that's why I said, baby, you just want to flow. She's not going to be able to talk about everything, but I really would like for you to take the time that we have to focus on grief. And if you can move on, then move on. But if you can take this time to talk about grief.
Okay. So thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. When I think about grief and everything that you shared and described, I'm going to give you a quick little story.
Okay.
Grief is not linear. If you are a linear person and you have already experienced grief, or you think about it and your mind says, you can get over it. Or
pause it. Linear meaning straight. Linear meaning just
meaning that when you spoke about the young lady and it being 5 years, it is also 5 years for my mom and my dad. Okay. I am a linear person. Yes, I'm a clinician but I still have my humanity. I can know all the things, all the textbook things that I know, but I still have to live in this body that God gave me. And I have to apply what I know as book knowledge, text, and make it real and applicable to me in everyday life. So it's not linear. It's not a straight shot. Okay. So if you are a person who likes for things to be closed, complete.
Okay. And a finality.
Because a person may think when you said 5, it sent something to me, not a trigger, but an activation, meaning a thought that was positive, not a trigger that caused me angst or pain or wound. It made me think about how both my parents passed away in 2020.
Wow.
Within 6 months of each other. I'm not talking to you. Those of you who are listening, I am not speaking to you just from a clinical standpoint. This is my lived experience. Sweet Tabitha said that I'm a grief counselor. Yes, I counsel in many areas. It's not area of specialization. So grief, anxiety, depression, all the things. So she just gave me one little pocket of one niche of grief. It's not just grief. So I am a therapist and I do provide therapy in multiple areas. However, because I have personal experience with grief, losing 2 parents, both my mom and my daddy, to know how I love them so very deeply and all the knowledge that I had in my head and my heart, it didn't matter because I was the baby girl. And to lose them within 6 months of each other, mama first and then daddy, April, October, and then holidays and my birthday. So when I say grief is not linear, even though I'm in year 5, you learn to grow around grief. People say, oh, you can get over. You will never, ever. Let me just say this to you. You will never, ever get over. It's not something you have to get over. You learn to grow around it. And your experiences, you grow through it. And one of the things that I learned this year in particular, as I'm in year 5 myself, and I have a dear friend who is a grief clinician as well. So just because I'm one, it doesn't mean that you don't seek out others. Okay, that's wisdom. That's wisdom. And she said to me, wherever you are in your grief journey, wherever you are as in an individual in your womanhood state, you may circle back to where year 1 was. In other words, I know because my mind said year 5, year 3 and 4. Like I've come through so much.
I don't want to go back.
I've come through so much. So my brain was processing saying, why is year 5 feeling like things are a little different? Feels a little tough. Feels like year 1. But depending upon where I am in my own journey, as I'm evolving as a woman, my mind may go back. My body, because the body keeps score, the body will tell you what you long for. So if I may desire or long for something that was resemble year 1, I may go back. Even though it's 5 years in, there may be something that in this year of my personal life that I may desire a hug from my daddy. So linear means you said, I'm done. I'm on to year 5. Shouldn't be dealing with this, God.
Right.
Absolutely not. Because it's not a straight process. And it shows you that you have loved deeply and that you have been loved deeply. So to have that expectation of yourself is too much pressure because you cannot guarantee that you won't circle back and experience some things. The truth is when you allow yourself to feel it and to sit with the pain and to sit with, I miss my daddy.
Right.
I miss my mom.
Right.
I miss my loved one.
Right.
And we're going to talk about some methods to be able to help with that.
Please, let's go.
All right. So one of the things, and I have to write things down because I will be so, or we're over there. So here we go. One of the things that's really important, one of the things that's really important in the holidays, okay? How to handle.
I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sorry. If you're just joining us, this is Let's Talk with Tabitha Love. And my guest today is Miss Kiesha Cousar. And so if you're just tuning in and you're just picking up or you just like, You faded away, and I need you to tap back in. Okay. Sometimes when you're driving, you're doing different things, or maybe you just stumble across the radio station, or you just stumble across this channel. And it's just picking up. This is a 30-minute program. We're midway through, and we're talking today about holiday grief. Okay. So, I have a special guest here, Miss Cousar here, Miss Kiesha's here. She is a licensed professional. Okay. She's not just kicking it. She is a woman of God. She is a real touch woman where she's a wife, she's a mother, and she's like a professional. She's got all of this stuff, but she's human. She's a woman of God. She's experienced grief because she lost her own mother. She lost her own father, she said, in the same year, months apart. And then she has to go through the holidays where her birthday is right in December. And so she's telling us, she dropped the bomb and said, boom, the grief is not linear. What? I thought I could get it over and move on and go on with my life. But she said, you got to go around. You grow around grief. And then she said, sit with it. So now that she's got my attention, she's going to tell us some strategies. Okay. Just wanted to lock us in, bring us back. Go ahead.
All right. So here are some strategies. And if you have pen and paper, I really want you to write these down because it's important that you keep note. Yes, you can refer back to this, but also writing it down can create it and log it in your memory. All right. Okay. One strategy is called the pause, plan, and protect method. You're like, what?
Yes.
How do I pause? Okay. How do I plan? And how do I protect?
3 P's. Got it.
Right. Because holiday stress often comes from unrealistic expectations.
What?
So grief and stress coming from unrealistic expectations, emotional overwhelm, and trying to be everything for everybody.
Come on now.
I can sit right there. Trying to be everything for everybody. So it is important for those 3 P's. So I tell women all the time, peace is a luxury. I mean, peace is not a luxury, it's a necessity.
I'm like, Jesus died for me to have peace.
Right. It's a necessity. It's a necessity. And oftentimes we don't think about it. So let's go to those 3 P's. Pause long enough to notice what your body is telling you.
Okay.
So you are going to Thanksgiving dinner. You walk into the kitchen and all of a sudden you feel something and you are trying to push through it. My recommendation to you is not to push, but to pause. Pause. What is your body trying to tell you? Do you recognize, like, oh my gosh, I'm walking into the kitchen and I remember my dad used to stand at the refrigerator and ask me a question. You got to pause long enough. Plan what actually matters. We have this idea that I need to follow all the traditions. When you lose a loved one, it's important to pause and plan like, this year, this doesn't matter to me. This is what matters more to me. It's not an obligation, but it's what really matters to me. All right? Not what tradition tells you, but what you are telling you. What is God telling you that you need to do different? Creating a new normal is so important because if we're trying to follow the tradition of what mama, daddy, somebody expects us, it's unrealistic expectations. Because for so long, you've only known the holidays, especially if you've lost your loved one this year. Like, this is your first holiday, right? Without your loved one. Be kind to yourself. If I could not express that anymore, kindness. We want to act as though everything is okay. No, you don't have to act. Be who you are. Accept who you are and where you are and release yourself from the pressure. All right? And protect your peace with boundaries that honor your capacity. So what does that look like, Miss Kiesha? Because my family's capacity may be more than mine. So how do I honor what's good for me? But then I have children. I have a husband. So interestingly enough, my father passed 2 days before my husband's birthday. So
your husband? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
So it's for my particular situation with grief, it's around a birthday, an anniversary. My mom passed. It was my sister's birthday, my dad's birthday, our anniversary. and then the funeral. Then my dad passed, and my husband's birthday was 2 days later. So
every time you have your husband's birthday, you can think about your dad
because
it happens. So
it was together the same week.
Yeah.
My dad passed on the 8th. My husband's birthday is on the 10th.
Yikes.
My sister's birthday was on the 3rd, and my dad's birthday is on the 5th, and my mom's funeral was on the 6th.
So how do you get through that? Like,
Listen, seriously, it's the grace of God. Like God holding my mind together and knowing that, first of all, it's inevitable. When I was in graduate school, interestingly enough, I did a project called Preparation for the Inevitable. Because often we talk about this subject after, like when we're older. But why are we not preparing for the inevitable? And I literally was in graduate school, and because I always struggle with the thought of losing my mom and my dad.
Right.
Because we were so close.
Right.
So as a young person, it was something it was almost like a stronghold, because I would fear what would life be like without my mom and my dad. And so that's where I came up with Preparation for the Inevitable. However, how do I get through it? It was God. And being honest with your family and your children and those that are around you. Your village during the holidays, when you're dealing with grief, it's important to make sure that you don't overextend yourself. Being around people who you know may trigger you, who don't have the capacity for the season that you're in.
That's huge.
Did y'all hear what she just said? Oh my gosh. Can you repeat that? So it's important when you look at your circle, right? When you look at your circle, especially after losing loved ones.
Yeah.
It's important to make sure that your nucleus is able to vet. So can I use you for example? Sure. So let's say that Pastor Troy knows who's close to Lady Tabitha. He knows. But he also knows some people that may just kind of easily, rub in a different way. It's important that he is a gatekeeper, not in a negative way, but he's aware of how sensitive this season is for you. So as you plan, protect, right, that he says, maybe we only spend a little bit of time, because Susie may not have capacity that Tabitha can't last for 10 hours. And it's important that you know your own capacity.
Wow.
And that you voice it to those who are your safe people. So what does that look like? So on Wednesday morning, you may wake up and say, oh, this is a great day, because you can't tell with grief. It comes in waves.
So that's normal. We're not going basket case when one minute we feel okay and the next minute we're crying and we don't know why we're crying and it's uncontrollable. And you think, oh gosh, I thought I was over this. And some of us even have counselors, and some of us have great friends, and we've been talking to people. Like I said, some people have been dealing with this for years. So that means they're normal? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's normal, because grief comes in waves. That's when I said it's not linear. It's not, oh, I'm going to grieve today, and that's it. I'm going to put you away. And this is a real example, you can walk into a store and immediately be flooded, because there's a trigger of a memory, a smell, a sound that reminds you. And in that moment, it's like a wave. The way it can be high, and you just have to ride the wave. So that's one thing that's very important. How do I ride the wave?
That was my question. I'm getting ready right now. Ride the wave.
How do I ride the wave?
But we got to wrap it up.
Oh my gosh, let me smile.
Yes, we have to wrap it up, because that's all the time that we have for this session. So you know what that means? You're hooked. You want to know what she's going to say, right? I know you do. So you're just going to have to come back next week. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but you got to come back next week. We're going to have part 2. We're talking about holiday grief, and I have special guest, Miss Kiesha Cousar. She's a licensed professional telling us from a clinical and then also from a personal perspective how we can handle grief. So just listen to this, pass this on to your friends. Go to www.TabathaLove.com. And then you'll see information about this broadcast. Ms. Cousar, you also have your own website too, right?
Yes, it's Kiesha L Cousar.com. Kiesha L Kiesha L Cousar.com. Follow me on IG, Facebook at Kiesha L Cousar.
Okay. So that's it. We're wrapping this session up. You got to tune in for next week. Come back. We're going to talk more about how to deal with holiday grief. Be blessed. Much love. Bye-bye.